It's the third test. Today is the start of the third Ashes test. And yesterday what we saw was a continued build-up and the antagonism that followed. Yes, the third test is very, very important for both England and Australia. If England win, they stay in the contest. If Australia win or they draw, then the Ashes remains with them for another 2 years. But as I had mentioned, the anger that is at Lord's, which we even focused about in the preview in the build-up to Leeds, is still going on because Glenn McGrath, Australia's ace pacer and ace sledger and ace predictor, by the way, has come up with a new term when it comes to defining England cricket at this point in time. So, Glenn McGrath, pigeon, not mincing any words on the Jonny Bairstow incident, he had a simple word to describe England. England are priding themselves in CAZBALL, right? Well, the way Australia are playing, everybody wants to call it AusBall or PatBall. But Glenn McGrath has coined a new term, and trust Pigeon to come up with an absolute gem. He's called the Jonny Bairstow incident and the way how England are playing in this current Ashes as CAZBALL. What is CAZBALL? Casual cricket. CAZBALL. So, England are playing casual cricket and the Jonny Bairstow incident was an incident of casual cricket. How could anybody just wander out of the crease and then get stumped even before the umpire has signalled it over? So, Glenn McGrath in just one word has brutally ripped apart all the things that has been going on in the build-up to Leeds. He's mentioned it as England are playing CAZBALL, not BAZBALL, CAZBALL. So, casual cricket has meant that England are 0-2 down in the 5-match Ashes series, but England, their fallibilities have all been covered up because of the incident that happened at Lord's, the stumping incident and the abuse that Usman Khawaja got at the Lord's long room. But if Australia have a sledge or two, England cannot hold themselves back. And it comes from the main chief villain who is there in this Ashes 2023 contest, Ollie Robinson. Ollie Robinson, you know, is writing a column for a particular website in this particular Ashes series. And he has had his take on this particular incident. He stated, question is about the spirit of the game, but it's such a vital point in the game. Okay, let's just hold on to that point. And sometimes emotions can get the better of people, and in such a big series, I think it's understandable. Very weird and convoluted way of how Ollie Robinson is going about it. Emotions? What are emotions got to do with this? It's practical. Practically, the Australians stumped him because Jonny Bairstow was out of the crease. And remember, in this entire incident, Bairstow has remained silent. And a lot of people, there are a lot of other former poets and a lot of philosophers who have said, anytime an Englishman feels virtuous is when he is uncomfortable. That is the current situation that the England cricket team are facing at this point in time. So, Ollie Robinson, his quotes have really convoluted this entire thing altogether. And I'll be doing a special video on the article that he's written because yet again, he seems to be having a mixture of CAZBALL and DELBALL, delusional cricket. That is what England are playing at this point in time. So, very convoluted statement that Ollie Robinson has given on this entire take. But apart from all the off-field controversies that has happened, let us take a moment to appreciate what a special moment it's going to be at Leeds for this particular individual, Steve Smith, Smudge. The genius of modern day batting when it comes to test cricket. And yes, I say the genius of modern day batting is because even Virat Kohli has acknowledged it. So, Steve Smith is going to play his 100th test match. 9,000 plus runs at an average of 60, and in the last 5 to 6 years, his average has been 75 in tests. Bettered only by this period, if you look at it, 5-6 years of absolute consistency. You guessed it. The great Sir Don Bradman. Smith is only next in line when it comes to Bradman for the achievements that he's got. Because remember, prior to his 100th test, he's the only individual to get to 9,000 runs and 32 hundreds, the most he's got, and that average 60. Steve Smith is truly a genius when it comes to batting, and you might have seen in the video how he knows the numbers of his bat by the back of his hand. Truly, let us take a moment to appreciate and bow our hats down to the genius of smudge, Steve Smith. Let's hope he has a great impact in the 100th test, because remember, if he does that, and remember, he didn't play in the 2019 Leeds Miracle as well. So, this is a chance for Steve Smith to ensure that he can give Australia the Ashes on England soil. England are still alive in the Ashes. The men are very slim, but the women have managed to ensure that they keep themselves alive in the Ashes contest, because in the second T20I that took place, England managed to beat Australia by 3 runs. Ellis Perry's brilliance just could not get England over the line. Sophie Eccleston was the star as England women registered a 3-run win against Australia. And because of that, Australia may be leading 6-2, but England will have to win the remaining 4 games to ensure that they can get back the Ashes. And remember, while chasing, this is the first time that Australia have suffered a loss since 2020. And who was the last team to do that? You guessed it right, the India women's cricket team. So India women's cricket team were the last team to beat Australia while chasing, and it happened in the 2020 T20 World Cup. Now England, after 3 years, they have finally done it. The Duleep Trophy is going on in a big way, and yesterday we saw that the squad was selected for the T20I series. There were some question marks raised over the exclusion of certain players, like Rinku Singh was left out, Shivam Mavi was left out. But in the Duleep Trophy that is going on, all these individuals are really doing well. And one particular match, Shivam Mavi, he picked up 6 wickets. Remember, he's the captain of Central Zone. And in the 6 wickets that he took, there were some huge names in that. Cheteshwar Pujara, Surya Kumar Yadav, Sarfaraz Khan, Prithvi Shaw. 6 wickets, got all the 4 top names that are there in Indian cricket at this point in time, both international and domestic as well. Shivam Mavi has put on a great show, and Central Zone kind of are in a tricky situation against West Zone. The same can be said about North Zone versus South Zone, because South Zone were in a good position, but unfortunately they have lost 4 wickets, and before rain stopped play they were in a pretty bad position with Harshit Rana doing really well. So North Zone versus South Zone, that is going to be a very important match, along with West Zone versus Central Zone. There is an ODI series going on between Afghanistan and Bangladesh also. Remember, the one-off test that they played, Bangladesh registered a 546-run win. 2 weeks after that, Afghanistan have come back, and in the first ODI, Afghanistan managed to win by 17 runs thanks to the Duckworth-Lewis-Stone method. Rain stopped play, Bangladesh didn't do themselves any favors by putting on a low score, and also Afghanistan got off to a good start, and that is why they are leading the 3-match series 1-0. Massive news in the world of football, because Carlo Ancelotti, he is going to coach the Brazilian football team from the Copa America 2024 period onwards. And remember, Brazil will be aiming to ensure that they get back to winning ways, because it's been 20 plus years since they last won the World Cup. Even longer if you look at it, the Copa America. And remember, the last time they reached the final of the Copa America, but they lost to Lionel Messi's Argentina. So Carlo Ancelotti's appointment is a clear indication that Brazil want to ensure the trophy cabinet is brimming. And Ancelotti's resume as coach is simply magnificent. Look across all the clubs that he's had a magnificent tenure with them. So here's hoping that Seleção will get a big rejuvenation with Ancelotti's appointment. Jackson Singh. Remember, when he draped this flag during the SAF Cup ceremony, which India won by beating Kuwait 5-4 on penalties, he had worn that flag to just bring about the attention that what is happening in his home state of Manipur. Remember, for 2 months, that state has been plagued by violence. And now, we all feared that whether AIFF or many football associations might take any action on him. But Better sense has prevailed. AIFF released a statement saying, since Jackson Singh has already issued a statement on this clarifying his position, we are not going to take it forward. So, no action will be taken on Jackson Singh, and it is very, very good indeed, because Manipur deserves all the attention that it gets. Violence has to stop. Then and only then the peace can be restored there, and football fans can enjoy India's success in a big, big way. Sport and politics, wherever they are going in this modern era, they seem to mix. So, in Wimbledon, the Just Stop Oil protests continued. You know the Just Stop Oil protests that have happened in the billiards, in the snooker championships that happened. There were protests there. Some protesters even entered Lord's and decided to stop play. You saw the epic image of Johnny Bairstow carrying one protester away. Here in Wimbledon on court 18, twice orange confetti was spread around and play was halted in 2 matches in court 18 at Wimbledon. Just Stop Oil protests are really making it a point to ensure that their voices are heard. Daniil Medvedev, forever hostile and forever in the eye of the storm, yesterday got a very warm reception, and he put on a great show as he beat Arthur Ferry of Great Britain. So, Medvedev is one of the top seeds there who's going to do really well. Maybe a Djokovic-Medvedev final, it could happen. Great news for Indian tennis fans also, because Yuki, Bhambri and Saket, Myneni, they are now in the main draw of the Wimbledon men's doubles. Initially, they were not going to be there, but the withdrawal of one Chinese duo has ensured that Saket, Myneni and Yuki, Bhambri, they are now in the main draw. So, India have got a representation in the men's doubles section as well. So, we hope that they can do wonders in the era when we are looking past the likes of Rohan Bopanna, and also we are recovering in the aftermath of Sania Mirza's retirement as well. So, today we are building up to the Ashes, and we've already had the selection for the India men's team for the 5 T20Is. Maybe we may see the selection of the Ireland team a little later. Tomorrow we may see the women's head coach finally getting official confirmation. Most likely it's going to be Amol Muzumdar. Let's see how that pans out. Lots of action coming your way. Tap that bell icon so you know when we go live, and don't forget we are on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram as well. Thank you for watching this live video.